Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, James. Alongside me, as always,
I'm Andy.
we have a great show for you today, so let's get ready to rumble as we become legend of the nerds. Let's jump right into it. We got an over-the-top show. Let's become legend nerds today because we just so much going on. My head is just exploding with last night's show. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I cannot keep my words straight today. But first, we have a few little things to go over before we jump into the main topic. Previously, we have learned that a great actor has passed away, name of Alan Rickman. I enjoyed all of his work. You guys might know him from he was Snape on the Harry Potters. Or for me, the greatest Christmas movie ever, from Die Hard. We played Hans Gruber. The greatest Christmas movie. You like that Christmas movie?
I'm not big on the Die Hard movies. I've seen them here and there, but I mean, I'm trying to think of other movies I've seen him in. Like I had him prior.
He did the voice robot in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay, I know he's done so much. That's the thing. He's done little parts. He's done big parts.
Yep.
He's done action movies. He's done comedies, and it is a sad day in the nerd land to hear that he passed.
It is.
But it just seems like all of a sudden people are starting to kick the bucket lately because we can go ahead and mention like even some famous musicians passed away in the last month with Lemmy.
Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yep.
Triple H's theme song.
Yeah, and who was the other one?
The guy from the Eagles.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
I forget who it is.
I was only a minor Eagles fan, not a huge.
But what I'm getting at is, if you remember, a couple years ago, it seemed like a bunch of celebrities as actors and actresses all of a sudden just boom, 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 died. Now it's like we're getting musicians all of a sudden too.
Yeah, I mean, like, we have a lot of celebrities just kicking the bucket early this year.
Yeah, but sad. It's a sad day.
It is. So. But let's go to a happy note. Andy, you had a birthday. So happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, sir.
What'd you do, anything fun?
Not on the birthday kind of day. It was a day off from work, so just kind of relaxed a little bit. But I did take half a day on the Friday before and got to see a new movie out there called Dirty Grandpa. Very good, starring Robert De Niro and Zac Efron.
The Efron.
Mr. High School Musical himself.
So I think that is one guy's career he just took it and ran with it after Disney. Because normally those Disney stars, they don't really do too well.
Well, he's kind of got that...
Efron, he's running with it.
Well, it's because he's kind of got that little sex symbol kind of thing about him.
Pretty boy?
For the girls, yeah, whole pretty boy aspect. And they show it off in the movie so well.
You know what? He is kind of a pretty boy.
So, but
he really is.
The movie just wasn't all about him. It's called Dirty Grandpa for a reason.
So it's about De Niro.
And De Niro, amazing as a dirty grandpa.
I heard they got a green light for the second one.
That'd be awesome.
I heard they did.
They kind of left it open at the end, so I mean, it's just that great. I want to see it again. But I will say too, since we're on the topic really quick of movies right now, still at the theater, I did finally. I can check it off my bucket list. I finally saw Star Wars: Force Awakens.
Oh yeah!
Saw that a week prior to Dirty Grandpa.
And what'd you think?
I thought it was an amazing movie. I had my nitpicks like everybody else, but amazing movie. And I'm sorry if no one's seen it, but we can spoil it right now. Han Solo dying.
I think everyone's seen it by the
I think everyone's seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
But the whole Han Solo thing, that's where it kind of ticked me off because I really didn't want him to die. I mean, he, to me, is...
I don't understand how you can enjoy movies with you spoiling them for yourself all the time. So you give that wow pop moment that everybody craves for.
I didn't spoil Dirty Grandpa. I wanted to see that fully. It's because I didn't plan on seeing it.
You don't spoil a comedy that really is not going to make an impact in the world.
I didn't plan on
But then you have a Star Wars movie that's going to make an impact.
I didn't plan on seeing Star Wars in theaters. That's the thing.
Okay.
And then it kind of got to, might as well go see it. So, but, I mean, to me, he's the face of Star Wars, and he killed him. So
Han Solo's the face of Star Wars.
That's my thought. It's not Luke.
It's not the Jedis.
It's not.
It's Han.
It's Han. If you look at all the first three Star Wars, technically 4, 5, and 6, who in there do people know kind of thought portrayed the best character? And that was Harrison Ford's Han Solo.
I would say the character development with Luke Skywalker.
Well, it was
That's
decent.
Huge character development.
I was kind of upset, though, that Mark Hamill really didn't have a big role in this first movie.
He doesn't need a big role.
All it is that end. Oh, you technically see your daughter.
Didn't even have a line.
But they don't even say you're his daughter yet. It's kind of obvious. But, yeah, it was a good movie. Excited for the part 8.
Part 8,
yeah,
2017?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 2017. Well, sticking with the movie stuff, got some little bit more news. Not much, but apparently Spider-Man has been seen on the Civil War set. Mm-hmm. Very exciting stuff. I'm glad they're doing it. Really, just pictures right now. Not much coming out. I'm hoping to get on top of this story and release it on our social media pages, which is a great segue for me saying thank you to all of our fans for following us on all our social media outlets, our Facebook, our YouTube, and especially our Twitter. Mm-hmm. Our Twitter is really just blasting off right now. We are getting new followers every day, all around the country, even around the world.
Exactly.
Just today, we got a follower from a gentleman in Cape Town, South Africa.
Was it, what's his name, who was wrestling, I forget his name now. Back during the Nexus days.
Justin Gabriel?
Yeah.
No. It was just some random person in Cape Town, South Africa, who has heard of Legend of the Nerds.
Well, who doesn't want to watch Legend of the Nerds? It's amazing.
And we are everywhere, and please continue to follow us on Twitter. As always, during the shows, you see me looking down. It's because I'm tweeting live right now with all of our fans. If you guys want to tweet us, and if you have questions for us, I may even put it on air.
There we go.
Kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
A little segue to other stuff.
Well, we said that this is the fan show.
This is the fan show.
We come up with the topics, but we love to hear from our fans.
We'd love to hear from you guys with anything. Even if it's out of topic from today or any other day we were toasting, just tweet any random question.
Yep.
We'll touch base on it as best we can. Next, we have a little bit of wrestling news, which segues into our main topic. The story going around that Stardust was supposed to go to the Heroes and Villain Fest in New York, I think it was, right?
Yeah, it was New York City Saturday and Sunday.
To harass Steve Amell about the Slammy Awards, was it?
Well, it was just that, and then the whole thing is, obviously, we saw at SummerSlam, the whole Stephen Amell Stardust rivalry, which was great, Arrow versus Stardust. And, I mean, he just hasn't let it go.
And we're hoping to see Steve Amell back in the ring for maybe another potential tag match.
WrestleMania is coming up.
WrestleMania is coming up, yeah? You're right.
I mean, we all know at the Slammy Awards, Stephen Amell won a Slammy for his amazingness in the ring at SummerSlam, but he wasn't there to accept it. So Stardust is now holding that Slammy hostage.
You know what? I'm going to predict right now. I bet you we'll see Steve Amell in that ring again. Mm-hmm. The reason is because the Turtles 2 is coming out soon.
Sure.
And he's going to have to do some publicity for that movie. And now what's the best place to do that than in a WWE ring to push that movie more. So I bet you, I guarantee you'll probably see it.
Which I'm not complaining. I mean,
no,
he's a great fan of WWE, and he did an amazing job, like I said, inside the ring.
Yeah. So do you have any more random nerdy news for us? Anything you've heard around the
not off the top of my head.
Nets.
Not off the top of my head right now, but it's only the beginning of the year. We're bound to have some great news in future episodes.
I'm hoping so. Well, let's break it down. We have our Rumble breakdown talk today. Last night was the Royal Rumble, and telling it was my favorite pay-per-view, and it did not let me down.
Yeah, one of the, as we call it, one of the big four.
It's one of the big four.
It's the first one of the big four, and the start to, as they call it in the business, the road to WrestleMania starts at the Royal Rumble.
It certainly does.
And I mean, even we can say, remember our top 5 best matches to watch? Mm-hmm. The Royal Rumble was our number 3. So I mean, we get excited in January watching the Rumble. So
I love the Rumble. But let's break it down. We had 5 matches and then the Rumble match, correct?
Actually, 5 matches total, including the Rumble.
All right, so we had 4 matches and then the Rumble match.
Yeah, we had all the titles on the line.
Match 1, we had, that was a good match,
That was the
too.
last man standing match.
That was the last man standing, Ambrose and Owens.
Yeah, Intercontinental title match, Ambrose defending his title against Kevin Owens. I mean, these two have been going back and forth for weeks, putting each other through announce tables.
Yep.
And why not put 2 lunatics, as we like to call for one, Dean Ambrose, the lunatic fringe, but Kevin Owens has got a few screws loose.
He definitely does. And, out of the 4 matches in here, it was really smart for WWE to start off with the last man standing match.
Exactly. You're starting off with a great match, and you always end with the Rumble, which is always a great match.
Yep.
So
it was great booking on their part. Mm-hmm. Total props to them. And even the finisher was just really well done too.
Yeah. I will say with this match, what I'm upset about is we didn't see as much. I mean, it's a last man standing. You got to incapacitate your opponent.
Yeah.
And usually you bring out a buttload of weapons. You really didn't see them use many things. All we really saw them use were the steel steps, the tables, chairs, and the cane. That's it.
Yeah, we saw the kendo stick was a crazy move Owens did with it.
And even
he hit Ambrose, and then he broke it in half, and then just started stabbing him with the broken pieces.
Exactly.
And that was kind of really just crazy.
I mean, they brought in like 10 chairs, but I don't even really think anyone really hit anybody with them. They were just there. Because there were at times you wanted to see someone put somebody through a chair, and they really didn't. I think there was a part where it did happen, but it wasn't anything that big. And I was very shocked nobody went through an announce table during the last man standing. That's what they've been doing.
That was kind of weird, wasn't
it? They kept doing it week after week after week. I'm like, well, someone's going to go through it again. Nothing. I mean, tables were used. We'll get to that towards the end of this match, but I wish I could have seen a lot more.
Owens went over the announcement table.
Yes, gave Michael Cole a black eye.
Yeah,
I mean, he really. Oh no, we did have one more. Thanks for bringing that up about going over the table. We did have one more weapon, a tablet.
That's right.
The tablet was used.
That's right.
Nobody's ever used a tablet before.
That was Ambrose in the stomach with the tablet, right?
Yeah. Kevin Owens hit Ambrose in the gut with the tablet. That was kind of hilarious. I'm sitting there watching.
Good spots in this match.
I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, the tablet is right there on the ground. Someone's going to use it, and bam, what do you know?
Yeah.
But
I saw Owens pick it up. I was like, I know what he's going to do with that. I thought he was going to smash him over the head, but it was just a quick little gut chop, which is nice. Yeah. It's good. It's a good spot.
Exactly. But getting to the end, then we have the tables come out, the folding tables.
Yep.
And Kevin Owens stacking them up, which is something you don't see that often anymore. Somebody stacking them up, trying to throw someone through multiple tables. And they don't get used for a while. They just sit there. And you start forgetting about these tables.
I completely forgot about those tables.
And until it's like, well, the whole reason I think why we forgot is because Kevin Owens made this stack of chairs, this little pyramid of chairs that he was going to put Ambrose through. They're at the top of the rope. He's about to like powerbomb him or something through the table. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? Dean jumps down and he just love taps Kevin Owens backwards. And Kevin does this perfect barrel roll right through the tables that we forgot about, through 2 tables stacked on top of each other.
It was just so well done because Owens stacked his tables up towards the beginning of the match, and then they worked other side bits for like, this match was like, what, 20, 25 minutes long?
Around there, yeah.
You know, and then like between that time, they just did other bits, pieces, and then the tails finally came through. It worked real well.
It was just funny though, because it's not like Dean Ambrose kicks him or uses a finisher or anything. He just kind of
one hand push. Owens took that so well.
And like we said last night, it was he did it perfectly, centered up into the tables. Yep. He goes off just an inch or two off to the side. He's going to miss those tables and maybe have his head come off it, just off the side and stuff. You had to hit that perfectly, and Kevin did it.
Yep.
Flawless.
Real expert.
Yep. So doesn't get up for the 10 count though, and we got the Lunatic Fringe still reigning as the Intercontinental Champion.
I'm okay with that.
Same here. So.
Match 2, what do we have?
We had the Usos, that's my favorite tag team.
Oh, right, the tag team.
Versus the faction of the New Day. Now, the reason I say that the faction of the New Day is because you can't go ahead in a title match or any regular match against the New Day and think it's going to be a fair 2-on-2 match.
Right.
You always got Xavier and Francesca, his trombone, on the outside. That's how it was. It literally was the Usos in a 2-on-3 the entire night.
Pretty much.
I mean, they're back and forth. Times you think the Usos are going to pull a victory off. They end up using their finisher, which is the Superfly splash that I call it, made famous by Superfly. Mm-hmm. And of course, Xavier right there puts Kofi's foot on the rope, breaks the count. I think right there is when I knew it was over. They're not coming back because they're going to go after Xavier instead of focusing on the match, and that's what happened. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, one Uso's left alone, 2-on-1, you're done. That's what happened. New Day's still a champ.
Yep.
And it's just, I really don't see anybody taking over those tag titles until they find a third person.
You don't think so?
Not until...
Well, you said faction earlier. Let's talk about that. Because we have seen other factions evolve in WWE right now. Mm-hmm. Like we're talking about, we have the Wyatts.
Yep.
They're technically a faction now. There's more than 3 people in the Wyatts right now.
Yep.
It's a faction. They could easily go after the tag titles, which could possibly win. Then you have the faction with Sheamus is in it.
Oh, the League of Nations.
The League of Nations. Mm-hmm. They could easily go after it as well. Then you have that new faction.
You really think anyone's going to win anything in that one?
I'm really excited about this faction here.
The Social Outcasts.
I really am excited about them.
Literally.
Tell me who's in this faction.
It's literally, the reason it's called the Social Outcast is made up of guys who are doing nothing in WWE right now. And now all of a sudden, let's make a faction out of them and see what they do. You have Heath Slater, mm-hmm. who's been in multiple factions and multiple tag teams.
Yep.
You have Bo Dallas, who everyone thought was going to be the next big thing, has not done anything. Curtis Axel, who started off on fire, portraying like a little bit of his dad, Mr.
Right.
Perfect, won the IC title, but then nothing after that. And Adam Rose. Ever since they turned Adam Rose into a heel, he's been horrible.
Right.
So you got these Social Outcasts.
Now, you don't think they're going to do anything? I mean, you have these guys who, just random guys put together in a ball. You don't think anything cool is going to happen to these guys?
I really don't. I think it's supposed to be just a laugh riot, kind of like Santino.
You don't think the writers just randomly wrote these guys into a group for just anything?
It's hard for me to say. I mean, they haven't really done anything with their career.
Well, think about your wrestling knowledge in your head. Have you ever seen anything like this happen before?
Well, obviously, DX was brought up with a bunch of random people.
Yeah. I think once they really put their foot into it, I think you're going to see the Social Outcast be a really cool tag team and possibly great faction. It could happen. I mean, I didn't think... there's a lot of tag teams out there, groups that got together. You didn't think that was going to do anything. But they did great things.
We can see. I mean... That's what makes this great. You have your opinion, I have mine. We'll see who comes out on top here. I
mean, Bo Dallas, Heath Slater together, you can see some cool things happen to them. Add Adam Rose and his quirkiness.
For me, it's out of all 4 of them, it's Curtis Axel. I really actually had high hopes for this kid. He's got the physique, he's got the talent, and being the fact that his father was Mr. Perfect, one of the Hall of Famers, one of the all-time greats.
Yep.
He's got that backing him. It's just...
These guys just got to find their footing. I think you can see some cool stuff from them.
We'll see.
We'll see some cool stuff from them.
But yeah, so, I mean, getting back to the tag titles, the Dudleys, yeah. The Usos, unfortunately, didn't come out on top. New Day, still our tag champs. So, we got to listen to them brag about that. And
Dudleys, where are the Dudleys? I didn't see them at all last night.
They were in the kickoff show.
I expect to see at least Bubba in the Rumble.
No, but like I was saying at the Rumble, this was a star-studded Rumble. Yes, the Dudleys are popular, but...
Bubba's a star.
I know, but who were you going to take out in that Rumble? Yeah, there's 1 or 2 people, but those 1 or 2 people are young guys that they want to show off.
We'll get to that when we get to the Rumble, I guess.
Yeah, so...
All right, so match 3.
Match 3. was the U.S. title.
Yes. Yes.
Kalisto versus your favorite, Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio.
You know, it actually wasn't that bad of a match.
Well, I think it's...
It was a pretty decent match. I mean,
it was okay. The matches they've had prior, SmackDown and Raw, were much better. I think it's... The problem, I think, is I understand you don't get to watch Raw and SmackDown obviously as much as I do. I know you want to, but from what in my eyes, I feel like it's because I just saw that match.
Right, yeah.
They've literally in less than a month span had 4 matches, 2 of them in 1 week,
and that's only what you see on TV. Who knows how many matches having in-house shows?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you really are just seeing the same thing over and over.
It does get kind of boring. It does kind of dry. You're right.
That's why I hate title changes so often, because literally, say you have one guy, then he loses it, then he gets his title shot the next pay-per-view, then he wins it back, then they got to have the match again. It's like, really? How many people do you have on a roster? You try to figure something out.
Of course.
But I think the biggest thing is what we have to say with this Kalisto versus Del Rio match, and you brought it up too, is Kalisto. Because right now, Sin Cara is his tag team partner, the Lucha Dragons. Amazing tag team.
And he's out right now.
And Sin Cara's out with a messed up shoulder. And so they have to do something with Kalisto. And like you mentioned, maybe they're turning him into the next Rey Mysterio.
I think it could happen. I mean, Rey was a huge part of the WWE because of his size and his ability. He really pushed along all the cruiserweights to become some more than just walked-on cruiserweights, you know? So I think Kalisto could actually be the person to help out, bring the featherweights, I guess, the cruiserweights, up to the next level of where it should be.
Exactly. And I was mentioning this last night where, to me, you need to have that mix of big, medium, and small guys, even as world champions. Could you see Kalisto right now being a world champion? I don't think so right now. Maybe down the road.
He needs more push, but yeah.
But I'd love to see that, where a small guy is on top. Because it brings out more of what you typically don't see in wrestling, because you always see the big guy dominating the little guy.
Yep.
And that is the Vince era, basically, as you were saying. Vince McMahon loves his big guys.
Vince loves the big guys. Triple H enjoys the lighter, high-flying guys.
Yeah, the average-sized guy. But yeah, match back and forth. Kalisto, as they call him, the human pinball, bouncing all around. Del Rio countered a little bit here and there. But I can say I got excited because Kalisto came out on top. My thing is, I want him to hold on to that title belt now.
Yes.
Don't lose it, because that's why I said we've seen this match so many times, is because literally he won the title, lost it the next night, and now he's got the title match again. So we need to see him hold on to that title belt and make a push like Rey Mysterio
So is he a two-time U.S. champion now?
He's 2-time now in less than a month.
That's crazy.
Exactly. So, I mean...
That's crazy.
So hopefully he holds on to it for a while, because maybe now they'll push the League of Nations into maybe tag team matches.
Right. Best spot in this match, what do you think?
Best spot?
Yeah. Any move that was like, wow.
No, because it's a lot of what
you've seen before.
We've been seeing. That's the
Nothing
problem.
Nothing new came out.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I get excited over Kalisto because really, how many cruiserweights are there really right now? You got Kalisto, you got Neville. That's really about it. There's not many lightweights that fly around.
Well, technically, you have the entire Social Outcast.
Yeah, but they don't fly.
Except for Alex.
Axel.
Or Axe there.
Axel.
Axel.
Curtis
Axie.
Axel.
Axe.
But
he looks like he could do an axe person.
I still love watching Kalisto fly around because it reminds me of Rey Mysterio, who was one of my favorite little guys. So his Selena Day Soul is probably my biggest thing. When he hits that, it's an amazing move. It's a modified sliced bread where he goes up and over.
Yep.
So, but happy just to see Del Rio with no title, because
yes,
we can say it right now. We say it all the time. Hate Del Rio so much.
A lot of people think he's wicked talented in that ring. I'm just not seeing it. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot better guy in that ring than him.
Same here.
I mean, unless it's because, as a face or a heel, he chooses not to wrestle as good. Maybe if he chose to be a face, we would see something more out of him. We've seen that in the past before. Sheamus, when he first came out, I did not like Sheamus at all as a heel. I thought he couldn't wrestle at all.
Yeah.
Comes in as a face, guy's phenomenal. So, I don't know. I'm never going to be a Del Rio fan anyways.
Same here. I mean, I enjoyed him as a face a little bit because he did a little bit more comedy. But
yeah. Well, that's match 3. Let's go to match 4, which
is our Divas title match.
Kind of surprised me.
Here we go. I've been waiting all day to talk about this one.
All day for this one, huh?
All this one. Because this is our time where, as we like to call it, our bathroom breaks when we watch pay-per-views.
Yep.
The Divas, or as they used to be called, it used to just be the women's division.
Which they should turn it back.
Now, when you get the crappy wrestling out of the women that we get now, they call it the Divas.
Yep.
And that's really what they were. They were divas.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything. But now we're getting this development in NXT where, as they say, they hashtag women's wrestling kind of thing in NXT. And it's turning into something good from what we saw back in the Attitude Era, end of the Attitude Era thing, where we're actually seeing women wrestlers compete and push themselves as hard as the men superstars do. And you mentioned it last night. Your biggest criticism was Divas bouncing off the ropes, taking the rope shots.
My biggest criticism is anyone bouncing off the ropes, but mostly it's just the Divas. When you're in the ring, you have got to make it look real for the audience. And when you have some Divas who just press against the rope then run, that looks like garbage. Complete garbage. I've had a huge problem with the women's division for a long time. But ever since NXT came out and the new Divas are showing up, I'm not even calling them Divas. They're not Divas in my eyes. These NXT ladies, they are women wrestlers. Because they can hit that rope, they hit it hard, exactly the way it should be done.
And I mean, literally, we didn't get up and walk away from this match. We watched it.
Yeah.
And I even mentioned this match started at, I looked at the clock, it started at 9:25.
Yep.
The Rumble's going to start at around 10 o'clock because it's about an hour match. How are they going to go half an hour with this match? And they pulled out a good 20-minute match or so, almost 50, I'd say maybe closer to 15, but still. Yep. Charlotte and Becky Lynch, your girl Becky Lynch, you praise this diva here.
She deserves every bit of it.
And there were times where it's like, okay, it's drawing a little bit out and stuff. But for what they did in that match, I give them props.
I thought it was better than the U.S. title match.
Exactly. You have parts in this match where Becky does like an arm drag on Charlotte. And normally you see divas kind of just roll into it. No, Charlotte got launched. And then there's a part in the match where Charlotte gets thrown outside the ring. She's on the apron, and Becky hits her. And normally you'd see a diva then just, I dropped down to the ring on my feet. Charlotte fell backwards on the apron, right on that corner where there's no padding or anything. And then out onto the ring floor. That's how you take it. That's how you make it look good. None of this, let me just jump down.
Yeah. If you want to be a wrestler, be a wrestler. If you want to be a ballerina dancer, go be a ballerina dancer.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it.
So we have in this match, Becky really pulling out all the stops, gets the armbar on Charlotte. My problem is she did it backwards. Normally she's sitting on top of you, wrenching the arm back. She had it where she's lying down into an armbar, kind of like what you see a lot in UFC, MMA.
Okay. What Ronda Rousey does.
Exactly. So you really don't get a lot of the pressure that she does with her typical armbar. And what happened was that power bomb that Charlotte did on Becky.
Yeah, that's
how many divas do you see do that? Can take a power bomb.
Not everything's China,
So she doesn't get that. unfortunately, Charlotte's father, Rick Flair, gets involved. And would you say you're the highlight of the night? What happened with Rick and Becky?
That was great.
we talked earlier, Dirty Grandpa. This is Dirty Flair right here.
Yeah, that was dirty.
If nobody watched the Rumble like we did last night, if you don't know what we're talking about, Flair just grabs Becky and just licks the lips and plants it right on her to distract her. Oh, Becky had to have a raise to take that blow.
She's probably honored to take that. Flair is a legend.
I know, but still. Unfortunately, there's your distraction. Charlotte then.
That's one of the distractions.
One of the distractions. But Charlotte gets the win, though. But not with the figure eight, unfortunately.
No.
I really wanted to see the figure eight. We didn't see it all night. She didn't even try to attempt it.
She's probably sick of doing it. I mean, these girls have had a lot of matches together. So
they have.
Mixing it up a little bit makes the match better.
My problem is, when she came up, she got rid of her finisher. She went straight to the figure eight, the modified figure four, and her new finisher then was the spear, which I don't mind. I love the spear. She's one of the bigger divas because she's got the height, so she can do a spear instead of having a little tiny person doing a spear. But the spear last night was horrible.
That wasn't a spear. That was not a spear. That was like a flying hug.
That was, I think, I'm tired. Let me just finish this match.
Spears need to be done in certain ways. And I can name 2 superstars right now that knows how to spear.
I know where you're going with these two.
I'm talking about the Gore.
Best spear.
Rhino spear is one of the best ones out there. That's how you spear. And I'm talking about my boy Edge and his spears. Because he jumps across the ring. And he goes down with you. That's how you spear.
Well, I mean, that's why I was getting at where Charlotte used to use her finisher. I forgot what it was called, but she never uses it on the main roster. Only in NXT. Maybe bring that back. Switch it up a little bit.
You know, she might bring that back. It might be a good thing. Well, this, forgets about it, and now she brings it back so it looks brand new and fresh, which is awesome,
During this match, we were talking about a certain diva coming back. You want to let the fans know about this conversation we had?
This is some more breaking. I mean, it's news that I have rumored out there, just very recently too. Lita was actually thinking about making her way back to the WWE. She has been doing some behind the stage stuff, but I think she wants to be back on TV and probably back wrestling. I think she quit because the competition just went downhill.
Oh, I mean, she
probably quit. I mean, she's a Hall of Famer. She's amazing. She deserves to be in it. She probably quit because it went more from, I want to wrestle, to, I have a pretty face. And that's not Lita. Lita wants to wrestle. And I think she's going to have some competition again.
But this is where it gets to where we thought it might happen then last night. You have Charlotte with Flair, with Ric Flair in her corner, and everybody's
coming in as a management role.
Exactly. Ever since NXT, everyone said Becky Lynch reminds them of a young Lita. And that would have been a great thing for Lita all of a sudden to come running down and just doing something to Flair so that she'd be in Becky's corner a little bit.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. Unfortunately, Becky did lose. She got speared. The whole Flair group up thing caught up to her. She loses the match. But we may have seen the next number 1 contender come out last night.
Oh, yes.
With another NXT woman wrestler. We're not calling these 3 divas. We're calling them women wrestlers. And that was Sasha Banks.
I remember my first Sasha Banks match. I was so impressed. It's actually my first Sasha and Becky Lynch match.
Bailey.
No, the one I saw.
Okay.
Between those two. And it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It was so great.
It was probably for the NXT Women's Championship.
It might have been. But it was such an impressive match.
And
these 2 girls
I've actually gotten more impressed with Sasha Banks because I've been watching NXT for a long time now. So I've gotten more experience with NXT than, let's say, you have, because I know you watch it when you can. Sasha, horrible wrestler in the beginning. I don't care who says anything different. I didn't see anything great out of her. And I think it was because they had this little faction kind of where it was Charlotte, Sasha, and at the time, Summer Rae when she was in NXT. It was kind of stupid. It was all really about Summer Rae and Charlotte, so you didn't really see much out of Sasha. Then when they left, and she can develop her own personality and her own wrestling style, started seeing a lot more out of her. And it paid off in NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, where her and Bayley had the match of the year in NXT. Who can say that? I mean, hundreds of matches in NXT. You would think 2 male superstars probably will pull out match of the year. Great matches like Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens ladder match.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Neville, Tyson Kidd. No, it's Bayley, Sasha Banks in a Iron Woman match.
Which was great.
Yes. So, give Sasha credit. She comes out. I even told you, no, Sasha is teaming up with Charlotte.
And what I tell you?
They literally do their hair flip and their handshake and their little groupie thing that they did back in NXT. And you're like, wait for it. Wait for it. Flair jumps out of the ring. Sasha just goes after Charlotte with the bank statement. And what a move that is. I told you. I'm like, watch this.
It's brutal.
Watch this
it's
move.
Brutal.
A backstabber, and at the time, usually when you do a backstabber, you then let go. She holds on, so your body does a full 360 flip or 180 flip, and then right into a crossface, and she rears back on that crossface.
That is talented, tell you what I know. That's talented stuff.
When you can see Charlotte's ribs coming out from her sides because she's wrenching on that, she gives it her all. So maybe we'll see a future women's championship match in the making.
Yes, and I'm hoping the Diva division keeps going up.
Because like I
They
told
actually need to get rid of the name Diva.
I wish they'd bring back the women's championship belt and get
Yeah.
rid of that stupid flower belt.
Yeah.
But like I told you, Charlotte, when she was the NXT champion, women's champion, it was Sasha who took the title from her. And that's what I'm hoping to see at WrestleMania. I don't want to see any of this, let's give all the divas a chance kind of stupid match. I want to see a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
So
There's been a while with the Divas division where it was always an elimination match or a 6-person tag match. You know, it wasn't anything interesting because no one could really work. Now we're seeing some working, and it's going to be interesting to see.
Exactly. Now, before we get to the best match of the night here, I just have to say real quickly, who saw this coming? You and I just talked, 10 minutes here? On women's wrestling.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Yeah,
So
it does tell you something. But we are halfway through the show. Best match is last. But first, let's talk about the history of the Rumble quickly.
Yep.
I've always loved it. I'm not sure how long you've loved this match. First time? Did you like it the first time? It's like a winner for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's something unique. It's a
Yeah.
unique match. You only see it once a year. Yes, they have battle royal matches over the top ropes, but you don't see a 30-man kind of thing with the timer. Usually it's everybody in the ring all at once. This one, every 60 seconds, someone comes in.
Here's what makes this match interesting. It's the fact that you have no idea who is coming out next.
Exactly.
And that's what I like. It can be a big shocker who comes out next. Last night? You want to talk about last night? You want to talk about all together? Who is your big shockers to come out through the back?
I guess I can't really think of, without spoiling this year's, but for the past, there isn't, off the top of my head, I mean, I know a couple that have come back, but I'm not going to get into who my favorite one is coming back, but it is that shocker surprise where someone from like an injury who's been out for like a year plus coming back and you literally forgot about them wrestling.
Yeah.
For instance, Edge a couple years ago.
You have to bring that up.
I mean, it was holy crap, shocker. Cena came back one year. Undertaker came back. Triple H after he blew out his knee years ago. So that's one of the greatest things is, you get like last year we had Bubba Ray Dudley come back.
Yeah.
It was exciting, but it's like, okay, he's not going to win.
No.
Because then it's not like he got re-signed that night and we saw him later on.
Yeah.
The guys who you know are going to wrestle the next night, those are the exciting ones. The guys coming back from their injuries. And we even said it last night with one of them.
Yeah.
We thought at number 30, we get through all of it. And we said, okay, this guy's coming back from injury. He's our number 30. We even said it simultaneously.
Yeah.
And it was Randy Orton. But it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. I was very shocked about that.
I would have been excited.
And here's why I think this is the perfect way to promote Road to WrestleMania. Because that surprise entry is what makes the stars. You know, this is what's going to make them or break them. Mm-hmm. Their road to WrestleMania. Individual. Because, I mean, you win the match, you win
you main
WrestleMania.
Event. You go and main event at WrestleMania.
So that's why I think it's such an important pay-per-view for me.
Well, they also say this is the road to WrestleMania because literally WrestleMania is 2 months away. Mm-hmm. And if you want to make it to WrestleMania, if you don't win the Rumble, this is your road. This is your time. Show me something.
Show you something in that ring, yep.
Show me something that makes me want to say you deserve to have a match at WrestleMania. Because yes, it may not be the main event, but any wrestler behind that curtain will say, whether it's the first match or the last match, any match at WrestleMania is great.
Yep, and that's why I think you can continue to see Kofi Kingston in any WrestleMania match. Because he brings it all.
WWE is trying to push for the first time having over 100,000 fans at WrestleMania. That tells you
over 100,000?
Over 100,000 fans they're trying to get to.
A lot of people.
The most they've ever had is maybe 80.
I think it was like 82.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that tells you something, and it's great because in this football stadium they have the biggest TV ever made that literally hovers over the field and stretches almost the distance of the football field.
But stretch so it's like almost the ceiling?
Yeah, it's like literally hovering over the field. It's hanging from the rafters.
Oh, they could do some cool stuff.
So I mean, I'm really excited for this place. But
want to get into the match? We got a lot to go through.
Might as well. This is a great match. Well, we know.
So the stipulation for this match is it's simple. Roman Reigns, the champion, he must battle 29 other superstars to retain his title.
Exactly. Normally, we said it. The match, whoever wins, goes to WrestleMania and challenges the champion. This time, because Roman's fighting the McMahons, they decided we're throwing you in there, and whoever wins the Rumble goes to WrestleMania.
As the champion.
As the champion.
As the champion.
So.
Which is fantastic.
Exactly. And unfortunately, they screwed Roman over again by saying you also have to go in at number 1.
Oh,
very
so
brutal. To do going in at number 1.
So brutal.
So, and I mean, just starting off, who is our number 2?
So we have Roman Reigns comes in, and then Rusev is number 2.
Who
which
he threw over.
Very tough.
He threw over Rusev last year to become the winner of the Rumble. So it's kind of a nice little, where it ended is where it's going to start. But like you said, it's a tough match right there, just starting off against Rusev.
Yeah.
The greatest thing he could do is get him out early, and he did, in the best fashion ever. Rusev thinks he threw him over. He went through the second rope.
Yep.
And he's like, whoa, what am I doing? And then Roman just drive-bys him with the kick.
Yeah.
He gets all discombobulated, and whoop, there he goes.
Over the top rope. That's done.
I don't really want to get into the whole Rusev thing. It was quick, because the number 3, if anyone follows our Twitter out there, saw how excited I was.
So
I'll let
you
go
to our Twitter and our Facebook, because I posted it like several times. Number 3 came out, and this guy sitting next to me just turned into a little boy on Christmas Eve. Just got his favorite toy. Why don't you tell us who came out?
The phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
Here's what made it so perfect. The look on Roman's face when he hears the music, because even he had no idea who it was.
No one knew, and the fans didn't start cheering. Like, AJ comes out, and yes, they're cheering, but fans cheered before. They're like, who is this? And then his initials, AJ, comes on the Jumbotron, and the fans blew the roof off that place. I watched the interview with AJ prior to that match, and he says, I don't know even how the fans are going to react to me. He's like, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. And he was probably giggling with that hood over his head, like,
he knew.
Here I come.
He knew.
And Roman's reaction's like, who are you? Oh, crap, it's AJ.
I mean, everybody knows AJ. That's just a household name at this point in time.
Exactly. AJ Styles, I've let it be known, one of my all-time favorites. He's in my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, of best wrestlers of all time. It was great, those two going at it in the beginning. And then a couple other guys come out, and literally it's just AJ and Roman throwing them out, throwing them out, and then going back at each other.
AJ had a good run.
It was fun. The funny things is when AJ is going up against other guys, like big guys like Kane and the Big Show, and they're just throwing him around. You hear the announcers, "Welcome to WWE, AJ," and you know Kane or Big Show's chokeslamming him, saying, "Good luck, AJ."
Good luck here.
I think we should get to the part of the match where something different finally happened. Instead of the normal, okay, you go out. And that was McMahon coming out with the League of Nations.
Oh, yes. Yep.
It's about halfway through the match.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was the dumbest thing, I thought. Because
it happened so fast, too.
Because I'll go on record and say, I pick, because we do our picks prior to the Rumble. We had 3 picks this year. We had who you think's going to win, who you think will win if your first pick doesn't win, and who your surprise entrant's going to be.
First pick, second pick, surprise entrance. Let's go with that right now.
Yeah. My number 1 was Roman Reigns.
Yep.
I thought it's obvious. You're going to throw him in there to defend his title. It's kind of obvious Roman's going to win.
Yeah.
My number 2, though, if he didn't, was Bray Wyatt. The whole Wyatt family getting in there kind of thing. You're screwed if all 4 of them are in there. My return was AJ.
Yeah.
Obvious one for me, because we knew AJ was coming to WWE. We just didn't know when. Yours.
So my pick was for Roman to win because he's got so much heat with the McMahons and they're pushing him hard. He is so over right now that Roman was the pick to win. If he didn't win, I was really hoping Dolph Ziggler was going to get the win on this one. I was really hoping. I enjoy his work. He's going to be champion once again. In my surprise entrance, I was really hoping, really pushing that Kurt Angle would come back.
It's getting to me where I don't think it's going to happen. Here's why. TNA, he's doing his right now farewell tour.
Yeah.
And if you do a farewell tour, you're calling it, do you really think he's going to then come back for another year with WWE?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I'd maybe see one more match.
I think with him and just like Jeff Hardy, who wants to retire in the WWE.
Yep. I mean, I'd like to see it happen. I've told you in NXT, the tag team I want him to partner with.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, also amateur wrestlers. But
Of course.
I really see it being more of a Kurt comes back for Hall of Fame induction. People say one more match. He has one more match. Farewell.
I mean, he is a cyborg. He could go.
It's just he's getting up there in age and he's had so many injuries that are catching up to him. But so getting back to the Rumble, the dumbest thing they could have done, League of Nations, because there's no rules in the Rumble, no DQ. Dumbest thing they could have done is let's pull him out under the bottom rope. Whoop-de-doo. He's still in the he's still technically in the match because you got to go over the top rope and then feet touch the ground. Doing all their finishers on him, all this stuff. That's where we see the announce table break. Not the Spanish announce table, but the new one.
This part's funny.
The new announce table, the French announce table.
Welcome to WWE, French.
So, they put him...
What's funny about this, they put him through the table, right? And they cut off Roman because he is just gone right now, right?
Exactly.
But you see Rusev taking off with Albert Del Rio behind him. But Rusev has got one of the TV monitors. And online today, there's been a bunch of signs that says, the new TV champion is Rusev. So great.
Well, that's what I'm getting at is like, okay, Vince doesn't want Roman to win. Well, then don't pull him under the bottom rope. Have the League of Nations just run in there and throw him over the top.
Yeah, that should have been what
happened.
And
then I'm thinking, okay, they knock him out. They do all this stuff. Throw him back into the ring so someone can throw him over. Don't let him get carted off. We've seen so many times in the past people get carted off and come back and fight.
Oh, yeah.
It was the dumbest thing ever. And you pull something off like that, then your suspicions, a lot of the Rumbles lately are obvious who's going to win. This one has a little bit more suspense, but when that happens, you're kind of saying, okay, Roman's going to win because he's going to come back towards the end of the match and win. Granted, he didn't come back he came back towards the end, and I thought it was going to be there's going to be one guy left, and then Roman's going to come hobbling down, and he didn't do that.
He didn't come hobbling. Here's what the spot was good, was that the attacks on Roman was all based on his head. And that's what needed to happen. Because, yes, he could have begun hobbling down, but then he would have just looked weak.
He did it in the only way Roman Reigns can do.
Yeah.
And that was Sheamus, part of the League of Nations, comes out at 27. No, not 27, 29. And he's walking halfway down the ring, and the fans all of a sudden cheer, and you're like, who are they cheering for? Cameraman turns, Superman punch right to Sheamus.
Yep.
It was amazing. And then he slides back in and goes right back to work.
Yep.
But
Roman did sell it well, though, because the first time he got hit in the head, he took that bump, and he sold the head injury still, which was nice. Because that's the best way to do it. I mean, if you're going to sell an injury, it's going to be a head injury that kind of return into the Rumble,
Yeah.
It made the storyline is crisp that way.
Exactly. Let's get into a little bit some of the other guys we saw.
All right.
We all can talk about AJ for hours here. I could at least.
You could. I want to talk about this, because this is so funny. When R-Truth came out, I
forgot about that one.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, the reason this happened, because you're like, what's he doing? And I told you, R-Truth's kind of pulling a gold dust where he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. He never did, though.
And literally, he's been doing, he'll come out in matches for Money in the Bank weeks later, and he'll say, I'm going to win Money in the Bank. And they're like, it was 2 weeks ago, kind of thing. But why don't you explain really quickly what happened?
So R-Truth comes running out, he just bolts down the aisle, he stops, opens up the ring curtain, grabs a ladder, puts the ladder in, and no one's stopping him. That's an indicator right there. He sets the ladder up, climbs it, and he's going to pull down the title belt. No title belt.
He's like, what?
Truth. It's ain't a ladder match.
Kane just throws him out.
He just throws him out.
And then
so
just
great.
throws the ladder out. Get rid of this. This doesn't belong. Match goes back. It was great. But like I said, prior to that, AJ, we could talk about him for a while. We don't have time. Lasted quite a while, which was great. One of your favorites of all time, Chris Jericho.
Yep.
He came in at number 5, something like that.
He lasted a long time,
He lasted to the Final Four.
Yeah.
He lasted a while. Roman comes back, goes on. Our Final Four are Dean Ambrose, who, props to him being in the Final Four after doing the Last Man Standing match. Roman Reigns. Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
And our number 30 entrant. This is the surprise shocker of the night.
It kind of made me angry that I didn't think of this first. Because I'm a huge fan. So I should be like, yeah, he's coming in.
So number 30 was the Game Triple H, the COO. We haven't seen him since Roman destroyed him at Survivor Series.
Yep.
Everyone's jaw dropped that night.
Oh, yeah.
Especially my favorite part was him and Bray going at it. That was great. Roman eliminates Bray. We're down to our final 3. And before Roman can even think, Triple H throws him over the top rope.
Yeah.
I was so upset. I did not see that coming. We are going to have a new champion tonight.
Yep.
Though what's impressive, it's Dean and Triple H. Nobody thinks Triple H is going to win this match. COO. And Dean Ambrose is going to hold 2 titles. And they went at it a lot. But unfortunately, your boy, Triple H, is our new world champion.
Triple H overcame. Now he's 14-time.
Nobody, I think, in that entire arena saw that coming.
Nope.
I mean, I think he's even shocked, even though he's like, you know what's going to happen. And he's like, oh my God, I'm champion again. So we'll see what happens. But it definitely now, the rumors saying it's going to be Triple H and Roman at WrestleMania, I think are going to come true now. We are going to see that match at Mania.
They just set it up perfectly at the Rumble.
But that's our Rumble.
That is our Rumble.
For me, in, say, the last 5 Rumbles, tops.
It's a good Rumble.
It was a star-studded Rumble. That's why I say we didn't see, like, the Dudley Boys. We didn't see all of New Day. We only saw Kofi, who really didn't do anything that great. He landed on Big E's shoulders. He's eating popcorn, then gets knocked down.
Yeah.
Horrible that year.
It was all right.
He's done so much, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
How do you rank the show? Pretty well?
I enjoyed it. I give it like 7 nerds out of 10, you know?
Yeah.
It was a great show.
I give it about an 8.
Yeah.
Some of the matches, okay. But the Rumble definitely was, like I said, it was a star-studded Rumble this year. I really enjoyed it. And I really hope the rumors of people saying 2016 pay-per-views this year are going to be some of the best ones we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So, but that's it. I mean, that was the Rumble.
That's it.
So, unfortunately, it's the end of the day for us.
Time to wrap it up.
But we will be back in a couple weeks for our next episode, our next great episode. But in the meantime, fans out there, don't forget, visit us at Facebook at Legends of the Nerds, or go to our YouTube page at Legends of the Nerds and watch this episode and every other episode that we've done this year and last year. So catch up on everything. And don't forget to visit this guy right here on Twitter.
When the offices let me have the Twitter account, I'll be on it.
We're always loving to hear from every one of our nerds around the world. So everyone, thank you for watching this edition of Legends of the Nerds. And remember, stay nerdy.